For this question, we're going to show that this is a factor of this cubic polynomial. Then that will be our first task. Question A, we're going to factorize completely. Question B, we're going to express in partial fraction. So for the first showing is a factor, we can use factor theorem. So our factor here is 2x minus 1. We find out what is your x value, which is 1 over 2. So we're going to substitute into our polynomial. I let our polynomial here will be 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 1. So I letting here to be our polynomial. Substitute the divisor value into the polynomial. And we have to calculate. It's supposed to get the answer of 0 because when this divisor is a factor to your polynomial means the remainder will be 0. So you should having the calculate until the end to get 0. Then we can conclude that 2x minus 1 is a factor for our polynomial. Then question A. Factorize this polynomial, the same polynomial completely. When you want to factorize the polynomial completely, you already know one of the factor is 2x minus 1. So I want to find others factor. We have to undergo long division. So we'll take our polynomial 2x cubed and then followed by 3x squared. You notice that you don't have any x here, so you have to remain its position. We give a 0x here. Then lastly, constant negative 1. So make sure your polynomial in long division must be in order x cubed followed by x squared followed by x and 0. Then divisor here is our factor. Then we start our long division. 2 divided by 2, you just need a 1. X cubed divided by x, you need a 1x squared. So your multiplier here is x squared. So multiply this x squared to 2x, to x cubed, to negative 1, negative x squared. So minus 6 for the balance. So 3 minus negative 1 become 4. So here we have nothing, 0, x maintained, then negative 1 maintained. So x squared. X squared with linear, so x squared still able to divide by this linear. So we have to continue. 4 divided by 2, you need a multiplier of 2. X squared divided by x, it will be x. So multiplier of 2x with 2x for x squared. Then 2x with negative 1, negative 2x. So 5 for its remainder. 0 minus negative 2 will become positive. So we still can continue. You can see linear can be still divided by linear. So 2x is just a multiplier of 1. Expand. So you can notice that if the divisor here is a factor, we won't have any remainder here. So from here, we can write our polynomial. Our polynomial can be equals to one of the divisor is 2x minus 1. So now this divisor can become our factor. Quotient x squared plus 2x plus 1. So quadratic, we still can be factorized using calculator. So this is how we factorize our polynomial completely. Then we have to express this in partial fractions. So firstly, before we proceed to partial fraction, we have to check whether proper or not this is linear. This is cubic. Okay, so this is linear. This is proper. We can proceed to partial fraction. Then second step, Is it this polynomial factorized completely? So coincident, this denominator is our polynomial just now. So it's our polynomial just now, yes. So second step, it is factorized completely. Then we can proceed to our partial fraction already. For 2x minus 7, with the divisor here is your polynomial, which already factorized completely. Now I have to express to its partial fraction, split according to its factor. One of the factor is 2x minus 1. Another factor you can see repeating factor occur here, where x plus 1, they are repeating. They are same factor repeating. So for repeating concept, for the first time, we only will write for x plus 1 only. So for the second time, we will repeat 2 times. So it becomes square. X plus 1, x plus 1. So we will write it x plus 1 square. Then we have to identify what is our numerator here. So a linear factor up here is supposed to be a constant. A linear factor up here should be a constant. So this one also consider a linear factor. The square here is just for understanding of repeat. So you can see inside the bracket still a linear. So up here supposed to be a constant. Then we form out the equation. So for A, multiply with the factor that it don't have, it will be x plus 1 square. For B, it will multiply with the factor it don't have. It already have 1x plus 1, so it will multiply with 2x minus 1 and another x plus 1. For C, for this repeating, x plus 1 it already have, so it will be multiplied with 2x minus 1. Then we have 3 unknown. We can let it 3 times. So we let it from the roots that we have, factor that we have. So we can find for the first one when x equals to 1 over 2. Substitute here, 1 minus 7, negative 6. So here, 1 over 2 plus 1, 3 over 2 square. So it will become 9 over 4a. So 1 over 2 is come from this factor, or automatic it will become 0. So automatic it will become 0. 0 times anything becomes 0. So a is simplified. It will give you negative 8 over 3. Continue for another x value. So I can take from another factor here, which is x equals to negative 1. Substitute. Here is negative 9. Then this factor will become 0. This factor will become 0. So it will be 2 minus 1 becomes c. Negative 2 minus 1, so become negative 3c. So c is 3. Lastly, any random value, because we run off the roots from the factor already. So finally, the last one, randomly value can do. I put a 0. So here, negative 7. So A I have already, substitute. 0 plus 1 square, 1. B, then 0 minus 1 times 1, 0 plus 1. C is 3. 0 put here, minus 1. Simplify. So finally, substitute into the fractions here. A negative 8 over 3. So negative 8 as numerator, denominator 3 will be multiplied with its denominator factor 2x minus 1. So denominator 3 automatically we will put at denominator part. So for B, 4 over 3. For C is 3.